Hi there. Today, I'd like to talk about the series Midori Days. So grab some milk coffee and some chocolate banana ice cream for this short retrospective about the anime and manga. This was one of my first anime I'd come across on the old days of YouTube. I had just finished Death Note and I needed a new anime to fill the void. And the intro to Midori Days hooked me right away. I had no prior knowledge to how the anime industry worked, let alone how massive it was. Midori Days was my first look into the slice of life and the rom-com genre as well, which I can say are now some of my favorites. The anime was created back in the spring of 2004, which is crazy to think that the show is considered retro nowadays. The studio Period took on the production of the anime, adapting it from the manga. You may know some of the studio's other works, such as Great Teacher Onizuka, Yu Yu Hakusho, Tokyo Ghoul, and of course Bleach and Naruto. Man, 2004, what a year for anime. Definitely my golden year for anime for sure. But it's no wonder that Midori Days has become so obscure. That spring of 2004, we saw the premieres of classics such as Samurai Champloo, Monster, Gantz, and Initial D Stage 4. You also had great ongoing shows such as Paranoia Agent, and of course the big boys, Naruto, One Piece, Full Metal Alchemist, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Inuyasha, Ghost in the Shell, and my personal favorites, Bobobo and Zatch Bell. So, no surprise, Midori Days was buried under these many major releases. But, all in all, I'm very thankful that the YouTube algorithm blessed me with this hidden gem that would go on to define my taste in anime. The unique and tongue-in-cheek premise of having a girlfriend as a right hand really defines the strengths of this anime, showcasing its rom-com and comedy blend on its sleeve. At first glance, this premise may seem like it's just some hentai smut, but it really is one of the most lighthearted and wholesome anime I know. I didn't realize it at the time when I first found this anime, but I really enjoy shows that have the suspense of the main character having some sort of secret or power that they have to hide from society to keep the facade of a normal life going. Kind of like Death Note, Code Geass, and Future Diary. The anime is great for newcomers, even with its crazy premise. It's not too isolating by having obscure references to Japanese culture and translates over very well. The basic rundown of the concept of the series is as follows. Seiji Sawamura is the toughest 17-year-old in town, feared by all for his fighting prowess and his deadly devil's right hand. But at heart, Seiji is a softie, and all he wants is an end to his 17-year history of being a lonely single guy. Unfortunately, his tough guy reputation only serves to decrease his popularity with the ladies, till one day he wakes up to find a girl named Midori has replaced his right hand, and admits she has had a crush on him since middle school. Weird concept, I know, but as you can already guess, the setup makes up for some funny interactions between the main characters, with Midori being very affectionate and happy, while Seiji is not too pleased with the situation at first. While the core concept is pretty wacky and unique, there are plenty of tropes that the show falls into, such as it taking place in high school, having the main character sit in the back corner of the class. Who knows how many shows I've seen where that happens, and there being a girl who shows her affection by always being mean rather than expressing her true intentions, or the Tsundere character type that we all know. I can see how this series might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it is considered a shonen as well, but I would say it's very light. There are only a handful of action scenes really. But yeah, I just pretty much just a couple years later just randomly remembered, like, oh yeah, this show, this is the first anime really that I had seen. So upon rediscovering it, I found out about the manga written by Inoue Kazuro. Definitely butchered that name, but in most cases the manga outshines the anime, and Midori Days is no exception. But the anime is still a great point to start, and I have to thank you for introducing me to the series as a whole and to really getting me into anime. While the series does have nudity and has light harem elements, it's mostly just played for gags. The show plays out a lot more like a slice of life. Also, Seiji is usually too oblivious to take advantage of these situations, and it's never too explicit or plot heavy, if you catch my drift. You know, not too much fan service to be offensive. The format of the manga is really great, and it really feels like you're just reading an anime with the way the panels flow. And each issue, you know, just taking a look at a single day in the life of these characters and their various misadventures. It makes for some great light reading, and you know, most stories being wrapped up in about 5 minutes or so, with some light continuity throughout the manga series. You know, it's something you can just hop in and read. It's very nice. So the anime takes this format and adapts it by mashing together multiple stories found from the manga, mostly into an episode with a lot happening in a day, and even adds some new concepts here and there. You know, this was likely just to fill out the runtime and give a bit more coherence to the structure of the episodes. With there only being 13 episodes in the anime, they really just picked out what they thought was important to advance the stories, and it works well with decent pacing. Besides the last 2 episodes, I feel each episode usually ends with Midori writing in her diary, reflecting on her feelings and sometimes how the other characters are feeling after that episode or that day's events. For the most part, I'd say the anime does well trying to trim the fat for the show's short runtime, but it's hard to define what's essential in a slice of life series like this. So, you know, with the anime missing out on some really funny characters and concepts, sadly. Although I'm very glad this anime was even made at all, considering, you know, all the anime being produced at the time. But I'm guessing the manga was very successful. You know, it went on for about 8 volumes, so probably sold pretty well over in Japan. But considering how short the anime was, when I discovered the manga, you know, I was not expecting the length, so it took me a couple days to read the manga, and I was happy though, just, you know, get to spend more time with the characters and whatnot. Now, while I did say the end of the anime felt a bit rushed, you know, I am glad that it was, you know, focused and closed the story. You know, that's why I'd recommend the anime before the manga, so you can just jump into more time with the characters by reading the manga and get a, you know, better sense of closure with its characters compared to the anime. So, you know, basically, so the anime is not such a letdown after you read the manga, but also I feel like a lot of the humor plays better in the manga format. I got a couple more chuckles out of that than watching the show. Yeah, so with that said, I rewatched the anime after completing the manga, and it was very satisfying to see these characters in motion, with a lot more of the physical gags being better showcased. The anime does a great job of showing the motions of having, you know, like an autonomous hand with its own free will, just kind of Midori dragging Seiji around and whatnot around the house. Also, the anime adds a weird background cat character that shows up mostly in between like scene transitions. He reminds me a lot of my fat cat that I have. But while I do enjoy dubs of anime, especially like to add humor, whether it be, you know, just kind of ironic most of the time. But in this case, I found the dub for this show to just be very cringy. I don't know. I couldn't sit through more than a couple seconds. I immediately, on the first episode, just after a couple minutes, just alright, let's switch to sub. Though a lot was lost in the adaptation from manga to anime, such as, you know, my favorite character from the manga, Makinoa Nao. She's a mysterious and weird classmate of Seiji's, and she has a evil scientist father, pretty much hell-bent on just trying to dissect Midori and Seiji and make a scientific discovery to bring him some fame. But she also provided a lot of really cool action scenes in the manga, which is probably why she was cut, you know, less to animate, you know. Oh well. a lot more of the side characters are fleshed out and much better in the manga, especially the Tsundere Ayase, who is also another classmate of Seiji's. She's a part of the main love triangle between Midori and Seiji, and the way she's handled in the anime definitely contributes to why I felt the ending was a bit rushed compared to the manga. But yeah, even with this concept being, as wild as it is, the series tries to explain the situation using spiritual methods, with shamans and monks all trying to get Midori to return to normal. In the manga, Midori's mom even travels to the US to get the opinion of a Native American who specializes in spirits. He even shows up in the anime, which I appreciated. I really liked that concept, but for the most part, this helps keep the show feeling very grounded and realistic for the most part. And most of the situations and the characters that the characters are found in, they're pretty mundane and everyday events, so a good balance, I feel, which it makes the absurd concept even funnier in most cases. The overall message I feel I got from the show these days after rewatching it is that in general, life's too short to harbor your feelings. You gotta express yourself, be with the ones you love, and make some memories for now. I really love this show for its lighthearted and wholesome nature, and it's focused more on comedy rather than drama. I feel like most rom-coms have a bit more drama, especially when they're in high school. But I highly recommend both the anime and the anime as a starting point, really, and the manga to anyone looking for more, really, out of the series. But anyone who's fans of rom-com and slice of life anime in general, I feel this is a show that you're gonna love. The show will always have a special place in my heart, for being one of the first anime I really watched by myself, and just yeah. Definitely, it might be rose-tinted glasses or nostalgia, but either way, I plan on doing more of these retrospectives of some of the first anime that I started out watching. So subscribe if you're interested, or if you're just here for Midori days. Either way, I'd love to hear your past memories with the anime or the manga, and just any thoughts that you have on the show in the comments. Thanks.